Welcome, Pudlings, to a Q&A. And I've said I'm going to be doing one of these Q&As for a while now, but we're actually here and we're going to do it. I think we should get stuck straight in. I need to explain where I am first. So the bike's not here. I'm not on the bike. If you didn't realise that, you're probably too dumb to be on this channel, so leave. No, I'm joking. But I'm currently up in Scotland, and as you can see, we are on Loch Tay. It is very bright, but we are just off the side of Loch Tay, and it's beautiful. So I thought, since I'm not going to be doing a Q&A on the bike, what better than to have a backdrop like this? I've got my brew. It's obviously Yorkshire tea, even though we're in Scotland. And we're going to get stuck in. First question, or questions. You got greedy with this one. It's from ThatWool3802. He says, I shall throw a few questions at you. Pick one or pick them all. We're going to do them all. So the first one is, what's your dream bike? I've got two dream bikes. One of them is a 2007 Yamaha R1. It's just beautiful. In the blue with the gold wheels. It's like, oh. But also, I don't care what year, but a red Ducati 848, that bike is just next level. That's like one of the bikes that made me fall in love with biking, and I want to own one day. Whether it's one that I get to do up or whatever, I know it's probably really expensive. Who cares? They're my two favourites. I mean, if you disagree, you're wrong. Yeah, so I'm joking. Then he says, what bikes do you see in the future Pud Moto collection? I think at some point there will be a Ducati, whether that's an 848 or something else. I think there'll be an Aprilia one day. Tegan absolutely loves Aprilias, so probably some kind of Tuono, whether that's a 660 or bigger, who knows, but she'd love that. Maybe a Kawasaki Z1000, that could be the next step. I think those bikes are the meanest looking nakeds ever. So maybe something like that, but who knows? Who knows? I'm in love with my bike at the minute, so stop trying to make me think about others. Bike mistresses. He does say any classic bikes. It's not something I've really thought about. If I get to a point where I can broaden my collection, might as well. Also, it's so bright. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna burn in October. He also says, will you be doing any long tour style content? I'd like to. I would really like to. The bike I've got at the minute's maybe not tour orientated, but I don't really care. I'll do it anyway. But it's just money. It's just funds. We've just bought a house and we've recently had a baby, so funds are very much in the gutter. So yeah. And finally, this is a big one. Who is your motovlogging inspiration? So it's got levels to it as this one. Recent stuff, I've watched a lot of Username Kate and took a lot of inspiration from that. I think the content she does is great, and with all the bike reviewing recently, definitely a point I'd love to get to. Totally different, but Tarzan motovlogs, totally sort of outlandish, popping wheelie hooligan type content. And I know that's nothing like my content, but it's just entertaining to watch. So definitely him. I quite enjoy watching him. But if we're talking originally, we're talking like 8-9 years ago, I think everyone's gonna mention the Baron von Grumble. He was definitely the guy who got me into like, oh, you know, you can do videos on your bike, and just never thought to do it. And then at the same time, there was also another London YouTuber, I think he's still going, to be honest. He was called Premises 187, and he was one of those where someone cuts him up or whatever, it's, you know, full on. And me and my brother used to watch him, so entertaining, his daily encounters and stuff. And I think him and Baron actually met up once to go on a ride out in Baron von Grumble's early days. So for starting the interest, there was many questions. So, but thank you for that, Wolf. That Wolf. Thank you for that Wolf. So next up, we've got DumDum-UW5EP. How much pud could a pud chuck if a pud chuck could chuck pud? Seven. Matt ZR6ZS has asked, what waterproof gear do you use? I don't know the specifics, and I don't have a waterproof textile jacket. My mother and father have just kindly stripped me to a new pair of RST textile waterproof pants, and they're brilliant. I will chuck the exact make or model number or whatever you want to call it on screen, but they're brilliant. They're pretty heavy duty. I've used them in the rain quite a few times already, and the crotch remains dry, whereas previously said crotch would be moist. So they work if you want them. Go buy them. Sports Bike Shop, J&S, sponsor me. RST, why not? Matt ZR6ZS also asks, would I do a step-by-step Mod 1 and Mod 2 guide? Yes. Simple answer to that. I would absolutely love to do that. I found watching Mod 1 and Mod 2 step-by-steps, tips and tricks before I did them helped massively to do them. And I passed them both first time. Not a flex, not a brag. So yeah, definitely go for that. Absolutely. Don't see why not. So thank you for that, Matt. Hey You Jimmy, 8560, asked, how am I handling the shitty nappies? So for anyone who doesn't know, we've got a 4-month-old little boy. And the shitty nappies, Jimmy says that he couldn't do them, but I find them more humorous than anything else. So if he's done like a big bomb, I laugh more than I do gip. So I think that's probably the better way. But I know it's on milk poos, and people tell me that once they're past milk poos, and it's real solid food poos, that's when I'm in for an issue, because it's horrendous and the smell is awful, like literal poo. Jimmy also asks how much a month for insurance. I think I pay about 148 a month for insurance. The joys of having 1 year's riding experience and owning a 600cc, but it could have been worse. So this was actually a good deal that I got. So I'm sort of not complaining because I saw some of the other quotes, which were like north of £2,000. I also live in Bradford though, which is not great for insurance. Everyone wants to steal your stuff. We've got a bad rep. Rocket Fludy 2873. I am so sorry if I've butchered that name right, because I know, Rocket, you comment on every video, big paragraphs, amazing support for the channel. If I've just butchered your name, you're gonna have to unsub, because I clearly have no respect for anyone. He asked, this is a really good one, he asked, have I ever been scared of my bike? And if so, how did it happen and how did you recover and not quit riding? So, never really the 125. There was 1 or 2 odd occasions where I thought, that were a bit close, but never really scared of it, because I always felt like with a 125, because it's a lot lighter, you can sort of muscle it a little bit more. But the 600, so a week after owning the 600, I think I've mentioned this in another video, me and my uncle went out riding in the Yorkshire Dales, and he chucked it down while we were out. There was a couple of cars in front of us and we went for the overtake, and I put a little bit too much power on because I wasn't used to a 600. The rear spun at maybe 60 mile an hour. Back end kicked out and it kicked me out of the seat, and I almost chested the handlebars, and it felt like, I'm gone, I've lost it. Fortunately, I hadn't lost it. I managed to save it, but it was definitely one of them humbling moments where I was like, oh, my stomach came out of my anus. And how did I not quit riding from that? I think because I just got the 600, I sort of just took it on chain. It happened near the start of a ride as well, and then the rain got worse, and then I handled the rest of the ride quite well, even when conditions got worse. So I think it was more of a learning curve than a scared situation, but it scared me, but I never really thought about quitting riding or stopping. I just thought, oh, that's just what happens, I suppose, isn't it? Don't do it again. So, Rocket also asks, next one is, how big is the circumference of your left middle toenail? Oh, that's right. I'm good at feel. I'm going to say about 25 millimeters. Bike Vibes UK, the legend that he is. Because in my previous video when I was saying ask a question, I said that you could ask my wang length. Apparently his wife wants to know what my wang length is. 1 second. Say no more. The next question, Dave Statham 8668 asks, what made you want to ride? He said, you have a lot of confidence for a new rider, especially in your early videos, and I just wondered what gives you that confidence. So what made me want to ride is, it's my dad. I think that's the influence for a lot of people who get into riding. The dads seem to be the dad road, so they start riding. And I did want to start riding at 17, 18, just never got round to it. I was enjoying driving a car, and sort of one of those things where it was like, oh, I might do it at some point. Also, my mother didn't want me to, because I've been known through my life to be a little bit of a, I won't say fearless, but sort of I'll give it a go and try it, test the limits. So she thought that and the motorbike probably don't mix well. But they've mixed great. Last year, Summertime, we got married, and I just thought, it's time. I think it's now it's time to just give it a go. So I gave it a go, and I will never go back. Never go back. Not just for commuting, going out on ride outs, everything's just amazing. The bikes are amazing, the people, community is amazing. I don't think I'll ever own a car again, unless we're in a position, teams or a car. But I think I'll always just bikes. Prefer to be cold on a bike than I would warm in traffic. Quote, that's a good one. And the confidence, I don't know, I think with a lot of things I tend to pick things up and probably get too overconfident with things. So instead of working up to things to a level I'm comfortable with, I'll do too much, get humbled, and then it knocks me to the point where I can comfortably, it's probably not the right way to do it, but it's the way I seem to do most things. Slobo Lobo 948, I think I nailed that, asks, how would you actually measure arse size? Overall circumference? Would you need to add a cup size measurement per cheek? A sitting down area covered? Some combination of the three? I think a combination. It's got to be a real in-depth measuring system that you do. So cup size per cheek is a definite thing, absolutely. Sitting down area covered, I think that's one of the most important things. It's like a camel's foot, innit? Is it a camel's foot when you put it down and it goes, whoa? Yeah, how would you actually measure it? I don't know. Try it out, try measuring your ass size, all of you, and let me know what it is in the comments. Like if you've measured your ass size before as well. Imran Thunder 7863 asks, does aftermarket exhaust have a significant impact on MPG? I don't know, actually. For the bike I have got the Acro exhaust, but I never knew the performance of it with a stock exhaust. I think that's probably something you can find out pretty easy, but I'm not sure. Mine may just be a slip-on, so I don't think it'll have much difference on MPG, because it doesn't really add much performance at all. So I'm probably going to go out on a whim and just say no, not really. Nothing majorly noticeable, but thank you for the question. At Ebax said, I'd love to tour Europe one day, so my question is, would you ever get a tourer and go travelling? And if so, where would you go? Yes, absolutely. I would 100% get a tourer. Whether it's a sports tourer or a adventure tourer, full on GS, panniers, backbox, everything. Ducati Super Sport would be pretty saucy. Oh yes. Oh, I'm on board. Yeah, go on then. I'll buy one. Tomorrow. Don't tell Tegan. Where would I go? A couple of years ago, I lived in a little place called Billund in Denmark. Absolutely love the place. It's so quiet. Denmark is a beautiful country, and I miss it so much. So I think if I were going to go on a tour in Europe, I'd be going straight back there. Straight down south, into France, Germany, Luxembourg, Austria, Belgium as well, up into Denmark, and then we'll see where it takes me. Might go further into Scandinavia, but that's the one I'd choose to do straight away. I'd go straight up to Denmark. But I need money! Also, I would love to tour Scotland. At Zane Rides asks, did it take much adjusting going from a scrambler naked setup with the CB125R I rode to a sports bike? The foot position on sports bikes makes him nervous. Little bit of adjusting, definitely. More the weight rather than riding position. But I'll be honest, foot position, things like that, it's not too aggressive on my bike, but did take some adjusting. But it's really doable, honestly, really doable. If you're thinking of doing that step, it's nothing to stop you from doing it. Andy Bennison 9192 asked, how long have you been riding? Also, where are you from? He recognises some of the roads. I've been riding since August last year, so just over a year really, like what, 15 months maybe, since I first stepped foot on a bike. Swung my leg over a bike, I'll say. So not long at all, not long at all. And where am I from? I'm from Bradford. From Bradford, but work locally as well. So Bradford, Brighouse, Halifax, I'm around all those sort of areas on bike. Let me know where you're from. Do I have any plans to go to motorbike events or like ABR, Motorcycle Live, Goodwood Festival, Speed? I'm a big fan of events and would love to see your experience at them. Yes, so later this month I'm thinking we're going to be going down to Motorcycle Live at the NEC. So I will be letting you know what day I'm going to be down there. I will have just had knee surgery as well, so you won't be able to miss me. I'll be the guy in a Pudmoto t-shirt on crutches, So if you're down there, just say hi. If there's anyone, that would be amazing if someone actually said hi. That'd be so good. Legend Matty07 GSXR, very loyal subscriber. Do you ever think you will get to a point of doing a ride out and meet up? What sort of subscription numbers would you need to be at for that to happen, even though you live miles away? Yes, 100%. Ride out, meet up. Yes, yes, yes. Sign me up. I'm on board. Absolutely. What sort of sub numbers? I'm thinking 1,000. I'm at 848 now. I'm thinking it can happen soon. I think even if there's just 5 or 6 of us, it'd be amazing. I know there's a few subscribers who live fairly local, so we could meet. We could try and get a middle ground somewhere cool and go out on a bit of a ride out. Definitely, definitely. So yeah, 1,000 subs. So help get to that 1,000 subs, and we'll start planning a ride out. Let's do it. And Matty, we'll try and get somewhere middle ground so that everyone can, and you can join as well. That'd be sick. At LukeyLuke88 asked, what do you do for a living? So I'm a product designer, or product design engineer by name. But yeah, I got a degree in product design at Huddersfield, and now I went into it. And that's why I was in Denmark as well, because I did a year placement working as a product designer at Lego. That's definitely like the life's flex. Soon to be motorcycle content creator, depending on how the support goes. TEDev22 asks, how does it feel having the cutest baby ever? What do you think? I think that answers itself. You're gonna give a smile? Yeah! It feels pretty awesome, and I don't think I'm just being biased because I'm his dad, but I think that's pretty cute. You pooed? Yeah! So I think that answers the question. Very good. TEDev22, it's my wife. She asked, when are we getting a Aprilia to own a 660? As soon as you give me the funds to sort that, I will sort that. Don't you worry, please. TJ1102 asks, what made you get into riding? Was it commuting? Did you have a passion from an early age? What is the longest ride you have done? Like I said again, Dad got me into riding. It wasn't just for the commuting. I've always wanted to ride, so I made the step to ride. Longest ride I've done, probably it's only 150 miles or so. We do a route up in the Yorkshire Dales. It's a beautiful route, but it's not a massive ride. But I'm planning on getting on bigger rides. I want to come up to Scotland on my bike as well and tour a little bit, so stay tuned. This is a great question from TJ. It's Friday night, baby's in bed. You both fancy a takeaway, what do you choose? So we've got one or two. We used to live in Brighouse, or we will be living in Brighouse, and there's a little place called Milano's, little takeaway, amazing garlic cheese bread, cheesy garlic bread. What the f? And pizzas and burgers and stuff there. So it'd be either that or a chippy. You can't go wrong with a chippy. We're in England. No, not we're in Scotland. Chippy. Chippy tea's perfect. It's just a great choice, and it's one of those takeouts that I never feel bad eating, even though it's really bad for me. But thank you for that question. Tertangalion, I hope that's right. What are your tips for moving house? Just don't move. No, it's pretty stressful. If you're going from rental to rental, it's not too bad. But when you're buying a house, stress, it can be. Like I said in a previous video, Tegan sorted out all the admin while she's been on maternity leave. So the stress has been lowered down. But then also she is on maternity leave, so it's funds are low, so it's also stressful from another point. But just get any help you can get from your family, friends, whatever. And a moving van's always just bang on. Just go, do it yourself, it's cheaper. It's a bit of time, maybe book a day off work, smash it out. Admin also. Right, well, we've got through all the questions on the YouTube. I think there were some really good questions there. Some good answers as well, if I don't mind saying so myself. So I'm gonna do a quick intro. The GoPro is screaming at me because it's like 2%. So typically, as you can probably just see, we lost charge. As I was saying, we're gonna lose charge. So it gave me a good opportunity to get out the phone and come and show you where we are. So, got my Bruce Phil. That's the little place we're staying in. It's only a little thing, but it's cute. And this is the view. Can't be bad. Can't be bad. This was last night's efforts. Look at that.
Beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed the Q&A. It was quite enjoyable doing it, but playing chicken with my GoPro wasn't ideal. I'm gonna leave you. Peace, bitches.